say the truth may walk slowly, but it never walks backward. But in our world today, too many people run ahead of truth. They shout before they think, they judge before they know, and they destroy before they understand. How many lives has been torn apart, not by crime, but by accusation? How many innocent souls have been buried under the weight of words that were never verified? In this world of rumors, screenshots, and the quick conclusions, one false voice can ruin a name, a home, or a future, all because no one waited to listen. My friends, when patience dies, justice is buried. And when the crowd speaks louder than the conscience, truth becomes the first casualty. Today, I bring you a powerful reflection from the book If Only They Waited, written by me, Mr. Mecho Galagu, a story titled The Accuser's Voice. It is not just the story of a lost 20,000 naira in a village square. It is a mirror held up to our own hearts, our communities, and our world. Because every day, in families, in offices, online, we become judges, juries, and executioners without ever hearing both sides. This story will show you what happens when we trade truth for speed, when we replace wisdom with whisper. Yes. And by the end of this session, I promise you this. You will never look at rumors, accusations, or assumptions the same way again. You will understand why silence sometimes speaks louder than noise, and why in life, waiting is not weakness, it is wisdom. Before I share what happened in the village of Umuoka, imagine this. A crowd gathers. The air is tense. One voice rises, pointing a finger. Others join in, not because they know the truth, but because they fear being the only one who doesn't shout. And just like that, the fire begins to spread. One spark of suspicion becomes a wildfire of judgment. No one asks questions. No one seeks proof. Because in the court of public opinion, emotions are the evidence. We have all stood in that square, sometimes as the accuser, sometimes as the accused. And every time we rush to speak before we think, we throw another stone into the well of justice. But what if, just once, we paused? And what if we waited before we believed? What if we remember that the lie can travel around the world before truth finishes tying his shoelace? Now, let's dive deep into the story. The afternoon sun over Umuoka beat down like judgment from heaven, scorching rooftops and cracking the parched ground. But even the heat could not match the burning tension in the air. That morning, news spread like dry leaves meeting fire. Madam Nneka was calling a village meeting. It was rare for a woman to summon the people to the square unless the matter was urgent. So when the town crier, Ogbuefi Amechi, rang his brass bell and they shouted down the dusty road, "Hear people of Umuoka, there shall be a meeting today at the village square by the third course call. Madam Nneka will speak on the matter of the missing 20,000 naira. People drop what they were doing and prepare to attend. After all, a woman doesn't climb a tree in the village square unless what she sees from the ground is terrifying." By late afternoon, the village square was alive with murmurings and scattered accusations. Stores were abandoned, children pulled back by cautious mothers, and the old men with a chewing stick in their mouth looked up from their wooden seat. At the center stood a circle of benches and stools. The village elders, dressed in their flowing Isiagu tunics and the red cap, had taken their seat beneath the great Uba tree. At their center sat Isheoka, for the oldest among them, his beard as white as cotton wool, and his eyes sharp as a hawk's. Madam Nneka arrived dressed in an Ankara wrapper tied tightly around her waist, her headgear flaring like a warrior's helmet. She was not just a trader today. She was an accuser with an audience. Her eyes scanned the crowd. There was no fear in her steps, only fire in her tone. She turned to face the elders and began, "My fathers, my mothers, people of Umuoka," she began, placing her right hand on her chest. "I did not want this matter to reach the square, but when one's house is on fire, you do not chase rats." The crowd murmured its agreement. Last market day, she continued, "My hard-earned money, 20,000 naira, disappeared from my counter. I had just sold stock. I had counted it. Then Ikenna, Madam Ogeshi's son, entered. He asked for kerosene and salt. I gave him. He saw the money." She paused for effect. He left, and within minutes, the money vanishes like smoke. The silence was thick enough to slice with a machete. "My fathers, I do not speak with water in my mouth. I am not mad. That boy was the last person to enter. Nobody else came in. Nobody." She turned to the crowd. "Some of you know how I suffered after my husband died. That money was to restock my shop. He stole from my mouth." A gasp rippled through the crowd. A woman at the back shouted, "He's been acting strange lately. That boy always passes my store like he's counting how much we make." Another chimed in, "I have never trusted his quietness. It is always the silent pot that boils the strongest fire." Then came Mama Shoma, voice shrill like a market bell. "Last year my wrapper went missing during the church harvest. I didn't say anything, but my eyes were on that boy. Now it makes sense." The crowd buzzed like bees. They stopped from their hips. People were no longer discussing fact. They were building a bonfire of assumption, fueled by old wounds and the prejudice. Iche Okafor raised his staff. The murmuring died. "My children," he said slowly, this is not a small matter. When a child begins to steal, he does not know he's laying the foundation for a broken leg. If this accusation is true, we must cleanse the land. Theft is an abomination in Umuoka." The other elders nodded. "But we will not act on wounds alone. We shall call the boy. Let him speak. Let him explain. And if he is found guilty, we will handle it traditionally, as our fathers did before us." An elder, Ishe Madabuchi, added, "If he is guilty, the gods must see justice. The land must be appeased." When a lizard falls from a tree and nods his head, it is not always in greeting, it may be in pain. There was an ominous tone to those words. While the village square boiled with tension, Ikenna was seated under the mango tree in front of his home, trying to revise his notes for an upcoming test. But his hands were trembling. News traveled faster than light in Umuoka. He could hear snippets from passers-by. "So they are saying she swore with her ancestors. Ikenna, that quiet boy." I heard even Mama Chioma spoke against him. The pages of his book glowed. His mother came out with a boil of water and sat beside him. "They are calling a meeting, my son," she said quietly. "They will summon you soon." He nodded, his voice barely a whisper. "What if no one believes me?" Madam Ogechi placed a hand on his back. "Truth may wear rags, but it never dies in the storm. Speak your truth. Let your heart stay clean." As the sun dipped beyond the hills and the sky turned to charcoal, the last of the villagers dispersed from the square. Torches were lit. Drums from a distant compound echoed faintly. Ikenna's name had now been dragged through the mud, flogged in absentia, and they paraded on the list of the gossiping winds. But still, not a single soul had asked one crucial question. Could there be another explanation? No one considered that perhaps the money was misplaced, or that another customer came afterward, if only they waited. they would have heard from Ikenna. But no, they didn't. Now, what are the lessons learned from the story? The lesson from the accuser's voice is timeless. Never be too quick to judge what you don't fully know. In the story, the crowd didn't see theft. They saw an opportunity to confirm their assumption. And that is how injustice begins, not in the court, but in the crowd. When we let anger, gossip, or pride replace patience, we become blind witnesses in our own stories. We forget that even the cleanest water looks dirty when stirred by dirty hands. Madam Nneka believed she was fighting for truth, but in her haste, she built a stage for falsehood. The villagers thought they were protecting their values, but they were destroying their integrity. And the poor Ikenna, a boy whose only crime was being misunderstood, became a symbol of what happens when a community listens to noise instead of wisdom. If only they waited, the truth might have spoken, the crowd might have seen clearly, and the name might have been saved. So what can we learn, and how can we live differently from today? Here are 5 simple truths that can transform your world. Number 1, pause before you point. Whenever you hear a story, stop and breathe. Ask yourself, did I see it? Did I confirm it? Remember, what you heard is not the same as what happened. Number 2, seek both sides. Justice has 2 ears. Listen to both. Never let the louder voice silence the true one. Guide your tongue. Words are like eggs. Once they drop, you can't gather them back. Before you speak, think, will this heal or will it harm? Number 4, be the calm in the crowd. When everyone rushes to accuse, be the one who says, let's wait. It takes strength to stand still when others run wide. Teach your children patience, because a generation that learns to wait will grow into a nation that knows justice. When you wait for truth, you give light a chance to shine. When you act in haste, you dim your own integrity. My friend, if this message has touched something deep in your heart, don't stop here. Get your copy of If Only They Waited by Amechi Ogalago. This book will open your eyes to the power of patience, the cost of assumption, and the beauty of truth. It is more than a story, it is a journey into how our words, action, and judgments shape destinies. Read it, share it, give it to a friend who needs to slow down and they think before they speak. Because somewhere right now, someone's life depends on whether we wait or rush. Before I go, let me leave you with this final thought. When you rush to speak, you may win the noise. But when you wait to understand, you win the truth. In the village life, every one of us is both witness and judge. And decision we make with our mouths can either build or bury others. So the next time you hear a rumor, pause. The next time you attempted to accuse, breathe. And then the next time you stand at the crossroad between haste and patience, remember these 4 words. If only they waited. Because sometimes salvation hides in silence, and wisdom waits where the crowd refuses to stand. From the book, If Only They Waited by Amechi Ogalago, a story that reminds us all that time reveals what talk conceals. Thank you for watching this video, and I believe you have learned a lot from this video. If you have learned a lot, please make sure you share it and don't let it to stay with you alone. Thank you, and God bless you.